Hello!
Good evening! We're back!
We are!
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight to see tonight's demo. Hope you've all had a very good day. Sun's been kind of in and out here, so...
It's kind of quite
quite
warm now. Yeah.
No rain though, so that's good.
It's very warm in the studio though, isn't it?
It is indeed, it is. But we're getting used to that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, we've got a few people saying good evening, so
Yes.
Thank you again for joining us. Tonight's demo is going to be something a little bit different. We had a full-on mixed media demo on Tuesday, so if you missed that, do check it out on the channel. So tonight's going to be a card making demo, something a little bit cleaner, I think.
Definitely cleaner.
Definitely cleaner.
So
okay.
Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. You'll always be in the know of when we're dropping a new live or pre-record.
You will indeed.
So there we go.
Okay, so let's get straight into it. And I think first of all, we're going to show you just the finished sample from Tuesday. Just the little finishing touches that Mark's added.
Yes.
And of course, if you missed it, you can have a look and see if you fancy watching that.
Yeah, we've got some, I finished, there wasn't a lot more to it, was there? And I've also been playing around with some graphics as well. So,
okay.
So shall I show the graphics? So
Let's jump to the overhead first.
Okay.
Or you want to show the graphics? Go on, show off.
Well, show the graphics. Okay, all right. Okay.
Playing.
So, right, look, I've got graphics now. There you go. So this was what we did on Tuesday. We've got that's obviously that stamp set and the stencil. Hopefully you get this all nice and clear for everybody. You can see exactly what the price was, what it is currently still on the website, and what you save as well.
Yes, so just nice and clear for you to see which products of ours that we're using in our demos. And obviously, if you're not aware, we're doing weekly offers all the way through the summer. So lots of free stencils available and some nice discounts on some stamp sets as well.
And we will also try and demonstrate them as well.
Yes, indeed. So Mark, show us what you did.
Okay. Should we zoom in a bit, or is it
just those little finishing touches, and then we'll move on to tonight's demo.
So, I did finish it off. I did put a little bit of some spray on there, and that was, what was I using there?
That's the Ranger Perfect Pearls in Sunflower Sparkle.
So I spritzed about that, let it drip and run.
Added a nice bit of gold.
Yes. Yeah, you can see that, can't you, in the shimmering like that. So
and some very nice white splatters with a Posca pen.
Yeah, and I also used some of the cracked pistachio over the top of these metal embellishments as well. It gave it that kind of aged look.
Rust feel.
Yes.
Lovely.
So.
Super duper. So if you didn't watch that video on Tuesday, do check it out because it was under the hour and it was a full-on mixed media demo. So for those of you who want to have a watch, have a look. So tonight, let's move on to tonight.
Let's move on to tonight. So tonight we are going to use, let me just swap that there now. And we shall also, look at that. Oh, look.
Ooh. Wrong button. Hi.
Hello.
For those of you who didn't see us at the beginning, hi.
Let's jump to the overhead. Okay. Right. So tonight's demonstration, I'm going to be using the Right Direction stamp set. Very cool, a bit more modern, especially for more, maybe you're younger and you're more cool looking people. It's great. You've got two cars. You've got this really nice standing figure. You've got the word driver, and you've got in the right direction, and you've also got the word steer yourself, a steering wheel. You've got like a landscape, and you've got a little car as well. So,
I love that city skyline stamp. It's gorgeous.
It's quite.
Yeah, it's a substantial stamp set.
Yeah.
A6 in size.
Yeah, it's nice.
And I'm sure many of you will remember the older kind of four capris.
Yes.
if you're of a certain age.
Yes. But it's a kind of British car, so
it is.
I thought sporty-ish, and it's quite cool and retro looking.
And I have seen loads of friends whose children have been passing their driving tests recently. So of course, if somebody's taken their test or passed, it's a brilliant stamp set to use for your good luck or your congrats cards.
That's perfect. I will also be using a sentiment from the Lost for Words. I think I'm going to use "You Got This." So kind of like for people who have passed, maybe taken their driving test, so that's going to be perfect for that. I mean, obviously you've got celebrate and congrats in there as well, so maybe they've passed, but that's going to use that one. And I'm going to use this awesome stencil. I didn't say what's a stencil? Stencil. Okay. This is our distorted chess. It's really nice, isn't it?
It is. It's very cool. It's we initially brought it out to go with our Wonderland stamps collection.
Yeah, we did.
But brilliant for that kind of checkered flag, Formula One kind of look.
Yeah, and so it's absolutely perfect. So I think they're going to work nicely together.
I think so.
Right. Okay. Shall we go? Let's just go on to start. What should I start with? Oh. Right, okay, let's start with...
Start with a piece of card. It's always a good place to start.
Thank you, Helen. Okay, let me just take that graphic off a second. No, I don't need that on there now. It's just... I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just taking that graphic off a second.
Just learning.
Yes, I got so carried away with creating the graphic. There we go. And there, it's gone now.
Okay.
I will get better at that. Sorry, everyone. You don't need that on the screen all the time. Although we've got a nice logo there, so that stays.
Okay.
Right, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to use is obviously going to be the stencil.
Perfect for your 6x6 cards because our stencils are 6x6 inches.
Perfect. Again, this is the card size is a little bit smaller than obviously the stencil, so that'll work perfectly. I'm using a blender, and I'm also going to use some distress ink. This is the black soot. I do have the oxide. I mean, you can get away using the oxide as well if you want. I'm just using the standard distress inks tonight. So let's do some blending. Now I'm going to work from the center and I'm going to work my way out. So it's going to fade as it goes to the edges.
Are we not taping it down? Are we free?
No,
we're winging it today.
Do I wing it or not? See, I'm thinking about taping. Now you tell me that. Now, do I trust myself not to do it? Okay.
As always, guys, do ask any questions as we're going along, or let us know what you've been up to today if you've been creating up a storm.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, the graphics. Yeah, probably spent way too long on them. Overdid them a bit, but I think they look quite nice having the actual little images there as well.
Rock says she definitely needs this set. It is a great set.
So, I'm gonna swirl in from the centre, and then I'm gonna go flick out to the edges of the card.
So we're kind of going dark, sort of pressing firmly, and then lighter as we go out. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, it doesn't have to be. Again, it doesn't really have to be too perfect as well, because. Okay. Yes, always go from the centre. See, my deliberate mistake there, but I think we'll cover that up a little bit. I think we'll get away with that. So darker in the centre and go out, not the other way round.
Okay.
Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm. Looking good on my screen.
I've been doggy nursed today.
Oh yes, Leanne's dog had an operation. No. Bless.
I haven't been on Facebook at all today, recently. So I've been kind of like stuck in my own little world up here, out of the way.
And as always, all the orders have been shipped today, so we are shipping out daily, super speedy. I've been beavering away.
You have, and I've been there at the post office.
Yes, like I sent Mark to the post office while I got with some other things.
Yeah. So is that every single order?
Absolutely.
Unless you've ordered in the last 10 minutes whilst we've been up here.
Well, I'd say the last hour.
Yeah.
Not that super speedy.
No, but
it's a nice. Shut.
Yeah, I mean, we do try really, really hard to get those out to everybody as quickly as possible.
So yeah, thank you ever so much for all your support.
Yes, it means a lot to us. It means everything to us. Okay, so we're kind of done there. Nice. So I shall take that off now. Thank you for the
big reveal.
Not so much of a big reveal, really. It's not too complicated.
I always love seeing it when a stencil's lifted off. Oh, that is very cool.
So we're just kind of fading out to the edge there. Sometimes you get those little bits from your blending tool, so you've got to be careful you don't smudge there, because I'll just go black. So sorry, it's good trying to blow it off. No, it's gone now. There we go.
Lovely.
Okay, so that's that. I think we're done with that there. Next, what I shall do. Do you know what? I said, why did I start with this piece first? Do you know, I'm not even sure that's the right piece. Or is it? It's not. I had two pieces and one is slightly small. So I wonder if that's slightly smaller than that one. Oh, I'll tell you what, we'll have to...
Pop it on and see how it works. You might have a bigger border.
Huh? No, that won't fit on there now. It's all right. It's fine. I should have done the I should have done the inside first. I planned on doing the inside first. We talked about this, didn't we?
We did.
That's my fault. So let me just. I'm gonna have to.
Trim it.
I have to trim it down
take
a second now. Yeah, we'll get away with the trim. You'll have to pass me the trimmer, Helen, if you don't mind. Just a second.
No problem.
Sorry.
This one.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna have to. Helen will just kind of like talk. Let me just put that there so you got something to look at. Whilst I just quickly trim this a second. Bear with me, 2 seconds.
Joys of a live demo, eh?
Oh dear. Right.
We do have lots of samples to show you later on as well. I know Jane's used this set quite a lot, so has Linda. And we've got some lovely samples to show you at the end of the demo for some different ways to use these stamps. Something else to look forward to.
Is it trimmed enough? He says. Dun, 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 dun. And yes.
There we
right,
go.
back in action. Sorry, everybody. Oh, right. So we're doing. That's it now. That's the right one now.
Okay.
Okay. We'll put that to one side because I wanted to do the inside first.
Okay. Let's do the inside.
Let's put that to there. One side a second. Well, let's remove that as well. Yeah. Keep them out of the way. Inside. Okay. So another piece of just a plain white card. This is the Crafter's Companion, and I'm going to use the stamp. I'm going to use the You Got This stamp, which is a great stamp. That's the one I'm going to use.
So this is kind of for somebody about to take their driving test kind of card.
That was my thoughts anyway.
Brilliant.
Okay, so I need some VersaFine ink.
Of course, this stamp's good for lots of different situations,
Yes.
isn't it?
Of course, going old school now, using the block and doing it freestyle without a stamping platform, Helen.
Well, why not? When you've got amazing stamps.
Okay. Give this a go. See. Sorry, head in the way. Just keep the head out of the way there and try. Oh, I need to move it down just a touch. I need some clear embossing powder. There we go. And just give it a second.
So for anybody new, why do we give it a second?
Basically, you let the ink soak into the card a little bit. If you lift it off too quickly, it's just not going to work. Well, it will work, but it may not work the best way. So let me just move that.
So this is just some clear embossing powder.
Don't put that away just yet. I'm going to use it again.
Just some clear embossing powder to make the sentiment really stand out and have a little bit of sheen.
Yes. Just heat this up. This is always still my favourite bit. Shall I heat from the underside? You can heat both ways. There we go. And you see it catching now. There we go. Trying to burn yourself. Right. Okay, I think we're done with that there.
Nice.
Now you can. I'm just going to lift that up so you can see it. There we go.
Nice.
So we've got You Got This.
Cool font.
It is. It's very modern. It's the kind of thing that you really want on a card like this. And so next I'm going to use. Now I'm going to use the amazing figure from this set. So he's a standing figure. And do you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to have him standing on top.
Cool, I like that.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Mm.
Okay, so I shall, right, let me just do it sideways because I can see what I'm doing then. Just go in a bit there so you can see what's going on. Right, I shall just ink this up. I'm going to emboss this as well. Right, let's just grab there. He's going to have him like he's standing on top of the word. As close as. So hopefully you got that there. Famous last words. If it is, oh, we're slightly misstamped there. That's because I'm stamping off, but we've got that. I think that's quite cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good look. Right. Okay, and some clear. He's going to be coloured in anyway, so I think we can get away with that. That's what you get for lives. Right, thank you, Helen. Oops, there we go. Let me just heat emboss this again. I didn't give that to you very well, did I?
No.
It was like,
He's balancing the embossing powder pot on a sheet of vellum and just passed it to me like that.
it's one of the, you know what, I don't know why, but today's one of those days, I think. Okay, that looks good.
That is cool. I like the kind of sketchy feel of the guy.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to stick this inside my card now.
Okay. I'm going to pop me the lid, Mark, so I can pop the lid on.
Sorry, Helen.
Thank you.
There we go. So we'll just stick this inside.
Don't want to lose any of that.
That's going to be stuck inside there, like so.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll stick that on, and I think I'm going to colour him in as well.
Yeah, I think that'll look good.
Okay. Let me just get some tape. I shall tape that down. Tape gun. Right. Yeah, tape gun here. We've got, Helen said we've got some amazing samples there from the design team of this set as well, haven't we?
We have.
It's really nice. I don't use this set enough, you know. I should, because it's really good.
I think you've only used it once before, Mark.
I know.
I have that very sample too. I've actually got 10 amazing.
Really? I think
cards
it's.
to show.
Do you know what it is? It's time. You know, when you're doing everything else goes on in the world, it's time. Right. Let me just stick that down inside my card. So right, I'm trying to do this freehand. Sorry, out of the way a second. My head's in the way, and there we go. And
stick.
Take that down. Just press that down. Hobby Art showed me heat embossing, and I was hooked. Yeah.
Oh, was that at a show, Jackie? Probably. We do miss the live shows. Nothing quite like quite like the craft shows.
Was that Jenny? Jenny at Hobby?
Yeah,
Jenny. Yeah.
Jenny.
Like Jenny, right? Okay.
Very cool. I like that.
Yeah, that looks good now, doesn't it? I like that. Let's colour this one in. Colour him in though.
Yeah. What colour are we going to have him?
I'm thinking.
What colour's your car?
Yeah, I think my car's going to be red.
Okay.
So I'll colour him in red, but I'm going to use some, just some distress inks. I'm going to use a brush, a little bit of water, and just move that out of the way, Helen.
And as Rox is saying, a few black lines, and you could easily make the he a she as well.
Oh, you could quite easily. Yes, there's not.
You could add a few strands of hair flowing out the back, a few little details. Of course, you could even draw a little outfit on it.
So, first thing I'm doing is I'm just going over this with a little bit of this is a new brush. I've never used this brush before.
Some water.
Some water. The reason I'm going over this with some water, first of all, is it helps the ink spread around onto your surface. It'll like track it or follow it around. So can everybody see that?
I doubt we can see the water really clearly, but
no,
we'll soon see the red now.
Right, so we're getting a little bit of red. You don't want it too dark to start off with, and you just stretch that out. There we go. Sorry. Right, okay. There we go. How's that looking now? Can everyone see that?
Nice.
Okay, and we'll go along that. This is the therapeutic part. This is the really relaxing part of the job.
Yes.
And we've still got a craft off to do as well, haven't we?
We have. We still haven't fixed the date for that.
No.
And the craft along.
Oh, craft along.
I shall get looking in the calendar and fix some dates in for over the summer. Something to look forward to.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I shall put it in my to-do list. It's very long.
What, the to-do list? Yeah. Now we can do. Can everyone hear me? So sorry, everybody. I mean, I may be mumbling. Why have I been mumbling? I'm not exactly the mumblest person of all. I'm quite loud.
I think you're concentrating, and then you.
Yes, if I'm sorry, I'm looking down and I'm concentrating. I'm probably not speaking, and it's. I find it hard sometimes to speak and do something at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Speak and paint.
Speak and paint. You know, because normally it's a solitary job, isn't it?
It is.
So you don't speak to anybody really, unless you talk to yourself. Maybe I should talk to myself more. Okay. How's that looking now?
Looking nice.
Again, I like the kind of watercolour wishy-washy look on that as well. It's quite cool. Just give it a little bit more colour there.
Rox loves painting with distress inks. Very therapeutic indeed.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
you can use your watercolour paints if you have watercolour paints, or any kind of colouring medium that you've got. Your pens, whatever you want, really. But I think that's nice. I could probably maybe go in there with the legs a little bit darker, so kind of as he goes down, it's darker. Right. I'm not overly loving this brush.
I think as long as you've got a good stamping card that doesn't mind taking water, there's no problem whatsoever in this technique. So there's nothing to be scared about at all. No. It's a little touch of water and a bit of ink.
Sorry, brush change. Sometimes, you need to change your brush.
Obviously, when you're doing it, you don't need to affix your insert. It's just for demo purposes. We need this to dry.
Yeah,
so we're cracking on with it.
I quite like that now. I think I'm going to leave that. If it's not broke, there we go. I think I'm happy with that, the inside. So you've got this. Great for somebody who is taking the test, or maybe you give this to somebody beforehand. So we'll leave that for a minute, and we'll work on
we won't want to shut that, will we?
It's kind of dryish,
okay,
quite dry, so it's fine.
Pop it aside.
Pop it to one side.
To dry.
So what we need to do is, we'll come back to this now, but it needs something on the front, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my stamping platform, and I'm going to stamp the car from the set. This is one of the cars. So I'm going to stamp this car. I've got two cars. I could use that one, but I think I'm going to use this one.
Okay.
So let me just get some Versamark again, and I will need some clear embossing powder.
Sure.
My clear embossing powder
assistant.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've got loads of these black Versamark pads, and I always come to back to the same one. I should swap them over and change them over, shouldn't I? So give it a second to make sure your ink catches. There. And so that's the first stamping, and I want it a little bit blacker.
Still looks good with the first go.
Is it? And if you want a more sketchy look, you could leave it like that. But I'll just go in once more. Just give it a second. There we go, I think. Happy with that. Oh, look at that now. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Right.
Very nice.
So take that off.
So we want to clear emboss this again.
Yes, please.
There we go.
Thank you, Helen. Hopefully this doesn't take. How are we doing for time? 20 minutes. Ooh.
Yeah, it's not going to be too long tonight. No, since we had a full-on hour on Tuesday.
We did, didn't we?
Nice to mix it up and do something mixed media on one and something cleaner on the other.
Yeah, some people want a lot of mixed media, and then others just want to do it quickly.
Yeah, so we're just mixing it up.
Okay, for the back of that's wet, so
that's okay.
Right, I shall dry this off now.
Do come and join us in our Facebook group if you haven't already. Show us what you make with our stamps and stencils. Have a look at what the other customers have been making, and of course our design team are posting every day their latest inspiration. It's always great to see.
And we shall also be, once I've worked out how to do it, we shall be able to restream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So people who are maybe just on Facebook and not on YouTube can watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it on Facebook.
You can choose, so that'll be good.
Obviously, if you're on YouTube, you're going to get it in HD, whereas you won't be able to watch that in HD on Facebook.
Nice.
So let's have a look at that.
It's giving the car some nice shine there.
Isn't that gorgeous? It's a great car. Okay, next we want to colour it in. So let me just zoom in just a little bit, so maybe you can see that a little bit better there now. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, great. So pens. So I am using the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend pens. That's these ones here, and they got three colours in one, haven't they? Different shades of the same colour.
Hence the tri.
Yeah. Again, this is something you can colour in very, very easily. You don't have to be absolutely amazing at colouring, but I will show you a few tricks to make your car stand out that little bit more.
Nice. And obviously if you didn't want to emboss the stamp, then make sure you're using an ink like Memento so that your pens don't bleed.
Yeah,
but it's great to clear emboss because you know you're safe.
Yes, I can go straight over this, so not an issue at all. And you could still obviously use watercolours as well, so you could do it that way as well. Just whatever colour you've got. But using it, because you've embossed it, the water, if you're using watercolours, it kind of sits in the grooves of the embossing because it's slightly raised. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm colouring this very quickly, but because you can do, it's not too complicated to do. So I'll show you that. So that's the first colour. Now what you do, swap over your colours to the dark. There's a darker one on the other side. And I would probably go back over the first part of this. Don't worry about going slightly over the lines because you're going to be cutting this out. So it's not that much of an issue. The reason I'm colouring the bottom half darker is because obviously the light hits the top of the car more and it gets darker as it gets lower down. Does that make sense?
Great tip.
So quickly, I'm just colouring this in. You will obviously take a lot more time than I'm doing with this. I'm not exactly the fastest person at colouring in, but I'll give it a go. So we'll see now. So, and then you could go back in, and if you wanted to just take a bit of blending back over the top of there, just take that colour into the next part. You can do. It's not going to make much difference there. Just to break that line up. Okay, now there's two things that you can do. One is, first of all, you've got the wheels. You want to colour them, obviously they're like silver, aren't they? Silver metallic, aren't they? So the colours that you would use to colour them in silver metallic is going to be a very light grey. So what you want to do is just get your lightest grey and you'll go around, but not colour it all in. So you just go a few pieces and use it on both sides, and that brings out, it looks more metallic on this with the shine. So whether you can see that or not on there. I'll probably go over it in a darker colour as well. Just on the edges. And then you start to get that metallic look on those wheels trims. Nice. I don't know what they call them. Is the metal bits of the wheels?
I've forgotten the word.
Oh.
I don't know.
Are they hub? No, they're hubs. Are they? I don't know what they are. I'm not car mad, so I don't know.
Hubcaps.
I don't know what you call. I don't know what you call them. Somebody's going to shout out and say, "Oh, no." Okay. Now the only other thing in terms of colouring in is adding some. Now I've got Posca pens, and I've got a few other. You can use other white pens, a chalky pen. Now the thing you want to do is get your brush as well.
Okay.
Just use a little bit of brush just in case. And I'm going to use a bit of a white pen here, and I'm going to go very, very lightly over some of this to highlight some of the details. Now that looks bad like that, but what you do is you bring it in and just go back over it. And what you'll start to get is shine on those metallic parts. It'll be the sun reflecting and the light reflection of the metal. So you just go over that. Take your time, more than I'm doing tonight, obviously with time involved.
I was right, hubcaps. Well, you said hub and I said hubcaps. Thank you, Ali.
So,
alloy wheels.
That's the word.
That's the word I was looking for. Well done, Jane.
I can never think of the word alloy wheels. Maybe she's a car nerd. There are plenty of car. I'm sorry, not nerds, but car enthusiasts. Enthusiasts, yeah. So, but don't be too ashamed to go in with your finger and just pull that white along.
Nice.
And you start to get.
It's definitely worth doing, isn't it?
Yeah, you start to get. Now you'll spend a little bit more time than I have done here, going over it a few times. Here's one that I've already cut out, and you can see the difference between the two. Taking a little bit more time there, just blending in that white a little bit more along the edge, and highlighting a little bit more detail there. Now you can see that it's quite grey, doesn't it? A grey and so metallic.
Nice.
So that's exactly the same car, but just dried it. Taking a little bit more time than the 2 minutes I've done on there.
Yes, Jackie, the brush was a little bit wet to pull the white pen.
Yes, yeah, you can do it dry and use your finger, but I think using a white brush, a wet brush, sorry, is a lot better. So let's bring in...
Ali says, or alternatively you could call them metal wheel thingies. I like that. That's the kind of thing I'd say.
Yeah, and me. Okay, metal wheel thingies they are. Okay, so we have our car here. We have our... And then we've got a lovely car there now.
Nice.
And that's, see, the red, black and white really always stands out. It's really good. Really, I love that.
It is a good colour combo.
I also stamped and embossed the word driver as well, because I think that works as well. So I'm going to have that in there. So shall we stick things down?
Let's do it.
Do you know what it is? I don't know. Hopefully nobody heard my stomach. My stomach's rumbling again. Every time I do these lives, I think it's adrenaline that makes you really hungry. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Right, so I'm using some 3D glue just to stick this on.
By Pinflair?
Yes, the my 3D glue of choice. I don't even know if there are any. I've never heard of any of those. There probably are, obviously. So I think we're happy with that there. The word driver. Obviously coordinating the colour with the car. Oh, I haven't even stuck this down, have I? I'm alike. Crazy.
You have to use glue now.
Right,
Can't
okay.
use tape gun now.
All right, glue it is. How am I...
Guys, next week I'll feed in before the demo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd love to blame Helen, but no, it's not. Right. We'll get away with this, won't we, Helen?
Of course we will, if your glue wasn't dry.
It's so hot in here. Do you know what? I actually unblocked this 2 minutes before we started, knowing that it gets dry and it still dries. Right, okay, let's do this. Oh.
Come on, glue.
Don't
Willing
mess
it to come
around.
out.
If you will it too much, it'll be a big blob. You don't want to do that. Right. Maybe I need some of those, you know, what's those things that you get that you can, you know, the metal tips. I don't know whether they stop the glue drying out. Somebody, I'm asking everybody now, do metal tips stop the glue drying out? Or has anybody got a tip for the glue to stop the glue? Maybe we should put the lid on it. That would help as well. Okay, we'll stick that down. We'll stick it down now. Okay, right. Will my sentiment still be on it? Yeah.
Yay.
So let's just stick this down. Oh, there we go. And how's that looking? Oh, my sentiment
nice
just
straight to me.
My sentiment just moved a
That's
smidgen.
okay. The joy of using the glue gel because it stays tacky, doesn't it?
And we just lucky I didn't put this on as well, isn't it? Right. We'll finish this one off. There we go. Just stick that raised there. See, that's so simple but so effective. I think that looks great, don't you?
Yes,
A bit
definitely.
of glue there. That's fine.
That's
That'll
okay.
dry.
We'll dry clear.
Okay, so on the outside we have driver, which is cool, and then to complement that on the inside you got this. So that works perfectly, doesn't it?
Nice.
That's
Very,
good.
very easy to make and very striking.
So shall we go to front?
No, we're going to show some samples.
Oh,
next.
sorry, Helen. Sorry. Yes, we're going to show some samples. Okay.
Get
Get
our
in the
graphics
order.
back up, Mark, or
Oh, sorry. Yes, we shall put the
know
graphics.
how to do that?
Yes, there we
There
go.
we go. So these are the stamp set and the stencil that Mark's used tonight. Stencil comes free when you buy the stamp set, and this week's offers will end on Sunday as normal. So do check them out. And I'm going to start handing Mark some fantastic samples made with the right direction stamps. So we got this one by Jane. And this is absolutely fantastic. Now Jane's used our time tunnel stencil on this one in the background, which is
nice,
fabulous. I love all the cars kind of following the flow. Some lovely oxide inks in there, and a purple car. And if you can wiggle it about a little bit or zoom in, we've got some lovely glossy accents on the car, so it actually looks very realistic. It's a nice finishing touch to add the glossy accents to the car, I think.
That's nice, isn't it? Oh, that's lovely.
Very cool. And you can see that Jane's also used the lovely Skyline stamp. It's a very, very cool stamp in this set.
Yeah, which is that one there.
So that's Jane's.
It repeats as well, so that's really cool.
And then we've got a gorgeous one from Sharon, something a little bit more feminine.
Wow.
There's some beautiful rainbow clouds.
That's
and
nice.
And a yellow capri.
It's nice to be, just do things in different colours, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So it's really, really nice.
That's gorgeous. What else do we have? Ooh.
Then this one's by Linda, again using the stencil mark used tonight, the distorted chess. So Linda's put some black texture paste through that on this one. Looks really, really striking. Very, very, very Formula One.
That's kind of black and white, the same kind of
And the figure standing there, and also I think she's used pretty much all the stamps in the set. I love the steering wheel with the steer yourself sentiment as well.
Of course, that works well.
Very cool. And then we have one from Pauline, who has done a lot of fussy cutting.
Wow.
So how cool is that? It's kind of like a race meet or something.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And that skyline in the background again.
Those figures look lovely together,
look good.
don't they? Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
So if you like your fussy cutting and you fancy giving something like that a go.
it looks so. I mean, it is so effective.
It is very 3D.
It's very effective, that one.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then we've got a cute one from Nicole. She's used a different sentiment on this, but again, look at the skyline buildings and then that figure. How awesome does that figure look coloured that way?
Yeah.
It's absolutely
I
brilliant.
don't know how she's done that, but it's very clever.
Really cool.
Very effective.
And then we have a brilliant one from Linda. Another one from Linda.
Wow, there's a few stamps in there.
Yeah, she's got the scripted street stamps in there, which includes the map. So again, that's really, really cool.
Yes.
And the script stamp as well, and loads going on in that. It's really, really nice.
I like that.
Do like that very much.
Linda's just made it. There she is. There.
Linda, you're just in time to see your own card.
Destiny.
Yeah, love that. Very, very good.
Okay.
Now next we've got something very different. This is by the lovely Eileen Godwin.
Wow.
And Eileen has used the reflection stamping to just make that beautiful card. How lovely is that? And then she's just used the word calm. I just think that's beautiful. That's from our Seahorse set, the Create Your Calm set, I believe.
Nice. Yes, it is.
So yeah, that's really, really pretty. Just little touches of watercolour in there.
I don't know how they see these.
Very
like,
nice.
This gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, lovely. Then we have something a little bit more mixed media. This is Jane again.
Whoa,
Jane's actually used. I love this because Jane made this one for me. Because we're near Cardiff and my daughter Katie was living in London.
So
and
we have...
Jane is also not too far from London, so we have the map of Cardiff to London on there.
Oh, wow,
so again, you can personalise it for people if somebody's going on a trip or moving or starting a new job somewhere. So there's so much going on in this, loads of texture on the corrugated cardboard.
And obviously Jane's husband now has a hole where in his map now.
And loads of the little cars around there from the set as well.
Great.
It's really good, isn't it? Nice gift for somebody.
Love it. That's amazing.
Then we have, last but not least, this is Linda again. Now this one's using our geometric maze stencil, which again is very cool. And it's kind of like, which way am I going to go? So very, very good with steer yourself in the right direction. So I love that. Very nice.
Love it.
And then we'll finish with the one and only other card Mark has made with the set.
Oh, this one.
This is very inky and a bit grungy.
Yes, a little bit. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
And I thought at an angle which makes it look a bit more with motion in it as well. So that's quite nice. I drew some round kind of gold circles as well for the headlights, so you can just see that there.
So hopefully that gives you lots of ideas of what you can do with these stamps if you fancy them.
Shall we go to the front?
Yes.
There we go.
So I hope you enjoyed the very kind of quick demo tonight, but just giving you some extra ideas of different things you can make for people. Obviously driving's such a popular thing, driving tests, people like cars, so yeah.
And we like to mix it up as well, don't we? So
we do.
Yeah.
So we haven't kept you so long tonight, but do tune in to Tuesday's recorded live if you want to see that mixed media one, because it's definitely worth a watch.
It's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. So
as all the lives are. If you go back now and have a look, they're all really cool.
If you say so yourself.
No.
I'm
not
teasing.
me.
I'm teasing you. So do come and join us in the Facebook group if you haven't, and do check out our Instagram and Facebook page too, because there's so much inspiration being shared by the design team. So that's wonderful for you.
Yeah.
And we shall bid you farewell, I think.
Yes.
And we will be back on Tuesday and Thursday next week. And again, we'll mix it up with a bit of mixed media and a bit of card making.
Yeah. So have fun. Subscribe if you like what we see, and ring that bell, and we'll have a...
Ring that bell.
Is that a song?
It is. I'm not going to sing it though.
No.
So we wish you a very nice weekend. Friday tomorrow already. I'm not sure where this week's gone. But do have a nice weekend, and take care of yourselves. And thanks again for tuning in tonight.
It's been good, hasn't it?
It has.
That's
yes.
good.
We love sharing our evenings with
Thank you always for supporting us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Okay, so have a great evening, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye now.
Okay, bye.